Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you, and I welcome you all to the newspaper analysis discussion. So, guys, in this particular session, we take the entire analysis of Hindu along with important articles from other sources, and specifically in this particular session, we focus on exam relevancy specific for our UPSC CSE examination. In this particular session, we divide this particular section in three parts, that is mains, prelims, mapping. Here, where we take specific articles for mains examination, prelims and mapping, and along with that, we also take a quotation for essay and answer writing, which can help you in your mains examination, and current affair based MCQ questions for practice also are taken every day on our Telegram channel. We take it on Telegram channel so that you can attempt there in exam in quiz format, which happens to be more convenient for aspirants. So let's get started with the session. And guys, this entire PDF is available for download on our Telegram channel. Link for Telegram is given in description box in YouTube. And with this, one more piece of information I want to share with you guys. And this is something like this, that actually first of all, I am thankful for all the ones who are liking the video, commenting on the video, sharing the video. Your engagements are very crucial because by your engagements, YouTube promotes our content. But this is really sad to see that just 10 to 12% of the aspirants who watch the video, they are showing any kind of engagement on video. I'm pretty sure that now there are a certain number of viewers who are watching it regularly, but just a 10 to 15% do care to like, share, or to comment on the videos. Now, your engagements are why important, because by that it gives a nudge to YouTube to promote a particular type of content. But that thing has been static. And guys, I am afraid to say this particular thing, that carrying this particular thing every day, including making notes, arranging notes, streaming the video, it is becoming really very difficult. And I am afraid to say that I might not be able to continue this initiative because it is very much effort taking exercise. Okay, because you know that how much effort it takes if you read the notes carefully, and always we strive to ensure that we should give best of the content. Okay, but frankly, one-sided transaction will not work for very long. Okay, so from past few days, this kind of a burnout is coming, that what is the logic, what is the sense of carrying this particular thing. So I thought that I should share this particular thing with you, because there is no motivation to, there is very less motivation to do this particular thing. Okay, so this is from my side. Now let's get started with the session. Okay, so first, we'll be taking the quotation. Now, these quotations we curate for the essay and answer writing. And today we have the quotation from Abraham Lincoln. Now, Abraham Lincoln says that if you want to test a man's character, give him power. Now, every person is humble when they don't have power. Every person will act very modest when they don't have any means. But when you give a person power, that power can be political power, financial power, that power can be any type of power. Okay, on social media, that power can turn into the power of followers. Then you get to know a person's true character. Okay, now this particular idea you can use in GS paper number 4, ethics, integrity and aptitude. Now, the first article that we are going to take for the mains examination is a quick transformation of Russia-North Korea ties. Now, this particular article will be important for GS paper number 2, international relations. International relations. Now, first of all, before going in this particular article, let's take certain basic background information first. Let's take certain basic background information first. So basically, guys, what has happened, just a couple of days back, Minister of External Affairs, Mr. S. Jaishankar, said this particular thing, that West is responsible in bringing Russia and China together. In fact, because of this West versus Russia proxy war that is going on, not only Russia and China has come together, but along with the Russia and China, North Korea has also come together. Now we know this particular thing that China, North Korea particularly, they have a very much disputed history. They are the ones who are not norm followers. They are the one who are not rule followers. For example, in the case of China, we know this particular thing that China does not abides with the United Nations Convention on Law of Seas. China at the same time, in context of UN clause, you might already be knowing about the South China Sea dispute where the China does not follows the UN clause mandate. Also, we see this particular thing that in the P5, as China holds a permanent seat in the UNSC, China often has vetoed resolution which are had vetoed the resolution where the China's interest is getting compromised. China doesn't cares about regional peace, doesn't cares about the global peace, but uses the veto power for their own vested interest. At the same time, we know North Korea, how heavily they have invested in hypersonic missiles. Fine, now the even hypersonic missiles which can run 5 times at the speed of at the speed of sound, they have invested. Now, this particular nexus might be threatening to the world global peace order. Okay, so keeping this particular thing in mind, let's approach this particular article. So basically guys, what has happened post Russia-Ukraine war of 2022, engagement between Russia and North Korea has increased so much. Now we see this particular thing that actually there are many high profile visits that has happened between Russia and North Korea. For example, what happened? Russian defense minister, we see this particular thing that Russian defense minister visited North Korea in July 2023. Post visit of Russian defense minister to North Korea, we see that North Korean leader Mr. Kim Jong-un visited to Moscow in September 2023, and now 2024 it is expected that Mr. Putin is going to visit North Korea. Mr. Putin is going to visit North Korea in 2024. So these high level state visits indicate a kind of a closeness that is coming between Russia and North Korea. Now, first of all, basically it okay. So there was some connection error that came in between. Fine. So actual details of this particular deal has not come out, that what deals have been signed between Russia and North Korea. But certain indications have been given. For example, it has been said that there might be a technical cooperation between North Korea and Russia on spy satellite development, and in spy satellite development Russia is going to provide technical assistance to North Korea. At the same time we find that the North Korea might be providing weapons to Russia. Now you see this particular thing that as Russia-Ukraine war is going on, now Ukraine is getting unlimited support from NATO. It has access of weaponaries from European countries as well as from USA. But now the Russia's resources of weapons, they are going down. Okay, so Russia needs new partners, and North Korea, we know, already have invested heavily in weaponry. So North Korea will be providing arms to Russia. Now also we find this particular thing that North Korea can benefit from Russian resources, particularly energy resources. In transportation they can get the assistance. Fine, in food security, and in fact food for arms agreement is also being discussed, where Russia will provide food grains to North Korea and North Korea in return will provide the arms to Russia. And in this capacity we have also seen that freight movement between Russia and North Korea has increased in the past few months. So this freight movement might be the movement of arms from North Korea to Russia. Also we find this particular thing that as the times will be moving, this particular engagement will become more and more. Find this particular engagement will become more and more deeper. So you see this particular thing that actually what is happening, Russia and North Korea and in fact China, they got a common enemy in the form of Russia, in the form of in the form of USA. Okay, now in this capacity, international community now needs that they should monitor this particular situation. Regional actors such as India should monitor this particular situation very closely. Fine, and by that they should ensure that how the long lasting peace can be attained. Right now what is going to happen is not very much clear, and if we talk about India's specific interest in this particular equation, you see with Russia we have good relation, but at the same time with China we don't have good relation. China has a good relation with North Korea. China has a good relation with the North Korea. So China might use its clout to pressurize Russia as well as to pressurize North Korea to not to have a convenient stand against India. So in this capacity, it might unfold for India. So these are, guys, all the important aspects with respect to this particular article. I hope that you have understood it. And now we'll move to next article. A vaccine that prevents 6 cancers. Okay, now this particular article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2 issues related to GS paper number 2 issues related to health as well as social justice. Within social justice, women related issues, we are going to take it up. Now this particular article, it is talking about a cervical cancer which impacts the cervix, and this particular type of cancer is most prevalent among women, and disproportionately it impact women in the middle lower income group countries. Now January marks the cervical cancer awareness month. Fine, January, it marks cervical cancer awareness month. Okay, now when we talk about cervical cancer, it affects women in lower and middle income country, and particularly when we talk about India, India shares a substantial burden of cervical cancer. Now cervical cancer, it is caused by human papilloma virus, and human papilloma virus vaccination is effective in the cervical cancer. Now Herald Zur Hossain in 1983 identified that human papilloma virus is responsible for cervical cancer, and since then vaccine for cervical cancer has also been found. Now when we talk about, now you understand this particular thing, just a minute. Fine. So now understand this particular thing, that annually around 3 lakh women, they die from cervical cancer. Majority of them are from lower and middle income countries, and India has a substantial burden, and this burden is going to increase by 2040. Now WHO mentions 90-70-90 intervention strategy for cervical cancer. What is this 90-70-90 strategy? So this particular strategy, so this particular strategy involves 3 steps. Step number 1, 90% of the girls, fine, below the age of 15, they should be fully vaccinated with human papilloma virus vaccines. They should be vaccinated. Then after that, 70% of the women must be screened that whether they are having the infect of HPV virus or not. They should be screened using a high performance screening test. So first screening should be there below the age of 35, and then second screening should be there below the age of 45. So at least 70% of the women should be screened. Then 90% of the women detected with cervical pre-cancer lesions must be given an adequate treatment as well as care. So this is the strategy, that is 90-70-90 strategy recommended by WHO, and it should be utilized in national health policies. Now, when we talk about, guys, India, India has done a really good work in this particular direction. That is, India has decided to include HPV vaccine in universal immunization program. Now, National Technical Advisory Group has recommended 2-3 years back that this particular vaccine, that is HPV vaccine, should be included into the universal immunization program under which government immunizes fine free of cost. Now, so in 2023, government said that okay, we will include it. Recent budget, interim budget that has been passed, there government has announced that we intend to vaccinate women with this HPV vaccine. Also, what has happened? India, so recently a report was released that by the name of Accelerating Global Health Pathways. Fine. accelerating global health pathways. Now, in this particular report, this report has highlighted that how good India is doing to promote the access of vaccines, particularly in the low and middle income countries. Now, when we talk about India, India is itself giving HPV vaccine to women, but at the same time, India is a pharmacy to the world. Largest generic drug manufacturing happens in India. India provides lot of vaccines for a lot of diseases. Even in HPV, India can play an important role and can provide vaccines to many other low and middle income countries. So this is something that is there. Now, when we talk about this, fine, good that we are giving HPV vaccine under universal immunization program, but there are certain concerns that are there. Concern is there, first of all, accessibility of vaccine. Fine. Now, when we talk about HPV vaccine, still vaccine is expensive. So, whether it will be accessible to everyone? If it is accessible, fine. On what cost it will be accessible? Fine. Given high cost, will government be able to procure it in sufficient quantities? Misconceptions are there with respect to safety. Okay, how necessary it is. So these misconceptions are also there. So basically, now there are certain way forwards or suggestions that we can give in this particular direction. First way forward is that India in its G20 presidency committed to provide the equitable vaccine access, and we should now endorse this particular promise. Fine. So national rollout of HPV on ground should be expedited as soon as possible. Now government has announced it, but no clear timeline is given that when on ground it will actually be given. So immediately it needs to be rolled out. Second thing is that government also needs to promote awareness and education with respect to human papilloma virus. Now, physicians are going to play a very important role in this particular direction. So, physicians, they should educate parents, they should educate young generation about human papilloma virus. Find medical societies such as FOGSI, IAP, they are creating HPV physician and champions who will advocate the HPV vaccine, why it is important to people. Fine. So, this is about it. And now moving to the next article. Okay, Supreme Court ends immunity for legislators taking bribe. Now, this particular article we are going to see with respect to GS paper number 2, issues related to polity. Fine, as well as in GS paper number 4, ethics. Within ethics, political ethics. We also will take this particular article. So let's get started this particular article. Fine. Let's get started with this particular article. So basically, guys, background of this particular article goes way back to 1998. So let's understand this particular issue from very start. So basically, there was a JMM, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha bribery case, fine of 1998. Okay, so there is a JMM case of 1998. Now, in this particular case, what happened? One of our legislator was accused of accepting the bribe. Okay. Now, when we talk about corrupt practices, corrupt practices has been mentioned as a ground of disqualification, in the Representation of People Act 1951. This is one thing. But at the same time, if we talk about legislators, both MP as well as MLA, member of Legislative Assembly, they have immunity also. Article 105 and 194 talks about immunities. For example, if I read Article 105 of the Constitution, it says, no member of Parliament shall be liable to any proceedings in any court in respect of anything said or any vote given by him in the Parliament. Okay, so if a particular type of a vote has been given or if anything has been said, you cannot file a case against this particular legislator, that particular MP. Article 105 gave such MP, such member, a privilege. Similar privilege is given by 194 to MLAs. Article 194 to MLAs. So basically, if a particular MP or MLA has taken a money, has taken a bribe, and has voted as per the expectation of a person who has given the bribe, will they be charged or will they not be charged? Because Article 105, Article 194 give them immunity that no case can be filed in any capacity they give vote. Okay. So what actually happened? What actually happened in the JMM bribery case? In JMM bribery case of 1998, lawmakers were given immunity from the prosecution for bribery. It was said that Constitution Article 105, 194 will prevail. So they were given an immunity. Now Supreme Court has reconsidered this particular judgment. Supreme Court has reconsidered this particular judgment. And what Supreme Court has ruled? Supreme Court has ruled that the lawmakers who are facing bribery charges, fine in connection with their speech, for example, they took money and said something in parliament, in context of the votes that they took money and they voted in a particular direction, cannot be immune from criminal prosecution. They cannot take the excuse under Article 105 or Article 194. On them, criminal prosecution will be done. Criminal prosecution can be done. Also, it has been said that parliamentary privilege that is given to them, they are subject to judicial review. They are not given to them in an absolute capacity. They are subject to judicial review. Now, basically what has happened, now understand this particular thing, guys, that Supreme Court also clarified. Now, a lot of things here I have taken from other sources also. Supreme Court has clarified this particular thing, that when we talk about parliamentary privileges, so idea of parliamentary privileges was taken from UK. So in UK, parliamentary privileges are absolute, but they say that in India, these parliamentary privileges are not absolute. We don't believe in the undoubted rights of the king. We don't believe in the undoubted rights of the legislature. We will doubt them. We will review their action. Judicial review is there. Supreme Court has has talked about a necessity test. Necessity test. Supreme Court provided that immunity should find, so whether immunity will be given or not given, that is to be seen on the basis of necessity test. They say that a privilege is one without which legislature cannot discharge their function. What is a privilege? Privilege is one that without this a legislature cannot charge their function. That is necessary for them discharging a function. That is a privilege. All other cases, preference can be compromised. Also, now this is directly important for GS paper number 4, foundational values. There is a value of probability directly mentioned in the syllabus. So what court has said? Court has said that the constitution envisions probity in public life. Corruption and bribery of a member of the legislature erode the foundation of Indian parliamentary democracy. Probity is non-negotiable. Probity is non-negotiable. Also, there is one more dimension that was coming, and this dimension was like this, that suppose a person took money, a legislator took money, that okay, suppose a person belonged to ABC political party, a legislator belonged to the ABC political party, and he was asked that rather than giving vote to X, vote should be given to Y. Vote should be given to Y. But what happened? Person took the money, but rather than doing what was asked, he gave vote to X. Means though he took the money but acted as per his conscience, though he took money but did what he wanted to do. In this case, will the criminal prosecution be there or not? So what has happened here? What has happened here? So here Supreme Court has interpreted the Prohibition of Corruption Act, Prevention of Corruption Act. So Supreme Court has interpreted Section 7 of Prevention of Corruption Act, which deals with the offences relating to public servant being bribed. So they say that mere obtaining, accepting or even attempting to obtain the undue advantage is corruption. Is corruption. Even if you are attempting, okay, if you are not actually taken, if you are just trying to take a bribe, fine, attempting is a corruption. So therefore, even they have taken the money and did not voted, still they will be charged for corruption because they have taken the money. Okay. So this is, guys, all about it. And now moving to next article. Now moving to the next article. Okay, so here we have this particular article. VSHORADS missile by DRDO. So recently what has happened, DRDO, that is the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, they have achieved the successful flight test of very short range air defense system missile. Okay, very short range air defense system missile. Okay, now what this particular issue is all about? So basically what has happened, 3 tests were conducted from Odisha. 3 tests were conducted from Odisha. Integrated test range Chandipur. Fine. Now what these tests are? These tests are for the very short range air defense system missile. So here you can see that we have a photograph of very short range air defense system missile. Now these particular kind of missiles are being developed by DRDO to neutralize an enemy weapon, enemy missile that might be coming towards India, might be coming toward the targets in India. So basically it is a lightweight, just a minute, it is a lightweight anti-air it is a lightweight anti-aircraft weapon. Now there might be some missile that might be approaching to India. There might be some aircraft that might be threat to certain that might be threat to India. So they can neutralize it. They can neutralize it. And because it is lightweight, it is man portable. Means you can carry it on your shoulder and can be transported from one place to another place. So therefore they can provide air defense to vulnerable areas, areas in the borders. It can provide the defense attack, and it is adaptable to all type of terrain. It can be used in plains, semi-desert, mountain, high altitude, marine, coastal areas. So because of its portable design, because of its versatility in terms of operating it in so many of the areas, it becomes a very valuable and strategic asset to India. It becomes a valuable and strategic asset to India, and this particular short range missile, short range air defense system has been tested. Fine. Now it is propelled by a dual thrust solid motor. Fine. And it is specifically designed to neutralize the low altitude aerial threats at short ranges. Okay, so that is all guys about it. Fine. I hope that you have understood it. And now moving to next article. Delisting of apps by Google. Now this is the hottest issue going on in internet. So actually now we will be not going in masala side of this article. We are going to discuss little bit of an academic side of this particular article. Now what actually the issue is all about. So basically you might be knowing about Google. So Google operates their Google Play Store. It operates a Google Play Store. This Google Play Store, it is a kind of a marketplace for applications. Fine. And different mobile apps, they are featured on the Google Play Store. Now Google Play Store, it came out with their pricing policy, and as per this pricing policy, Google provided this particular thing that to feature their apps on Google, there is a particular charge that has to be paid. Okay, suppose there is a particular application by the name of XYZ. Suppose this is a paid application, or if let's say I am buying certain product from certain service from this particular application, and let's say I am paying 100 rupees. So a particular percentage will be charged by the Google as per their new pricing policy. Now this particular percentage was said that it is very much high. And if you see Google Play Store, it is a kind of a monopoly. So basically many of the developers, they said that actually what Google is doing, Google is trying to use their monopolistic situation. So it was said that this is wrong. Fine. And what happened? They approached to the Competition Commission of India. Now this particular entire matter has happened. Now basically guys, what happened recently, Supreme Court of India declined to prevent Google from delisting apps. So Google said that if money will not be paid, will delist the apps. Fine. Now it was asked that Supreme Court should order the Google. Fine, but it declined to prevent Google from delisting the apps, and some of the very popular apps, they have been delisted. Bharat Battery Money, etc. They have been delisted. Now, you need not to go too much in detail. Okay, you need not to go too much in details, but certain points you need to understand that this particular thing shows. Now this particular thing, shows basically there is a particular word that can be used for such kind of practices, that is corporatocracy. So when a corporate try to abuse its power, in an autocratic way, that is called as the corporatocracy. And we see that today these big tech companies, they have become so powerful. They have become so powerful that tomorrow they might unleash their own corporatocracy, and such kind of things can be seen. Now, over a period of time, I'm pretty sure that so many editorials, articles will be written in this particular line. So I will not advise you to waste your crucial resource in going and collecting a lot of content. Automatically it will come. Okay, that is all about it. And now moving to next article, hydrogen fuel cell ferry. Hydrogen fuel cell ferry. Now, when we talk about basically what is a hydrogen fuel cell? So basically hydrogen fuel cell will use hydrogen as a fuel and will emit vapors and heat just as an output. Because of this, and this hydrogen fuel cell can be used to power vehicles, can be used to power buildings. So therefore now there is a lot of focus going on developing these hydrogen fuel cells. Fine. Now understand this particular thing, that what is happening. India also has launched the National Green Hydrogen Mission. National Green Hydrogen Mission, where it is promoting the green hydrogen. So green hydrogen can become a sustainable fuel, can become a sustainable fuel, can become a green fuel. Now, in order to promote the green hydrogen and hydrogen fuel cell, a ferry boat has been flagged by Prime Minister. Now, this particular ferry has been launched under the Harit Noka initiative. Harit Noka initiative. Now, what is this Harit Noka initiative? So, basically, Harit Noka initiative is to bring the green shipping in India. Those particular ships which will be operated on hydrogen ships, if possible operated on electricity, EV power. Fine. Now this will help India to achieve the target of carbon neutrality by 2070. Now this hydrogen fuel cell ferry, it has been developed by Cochin Shipyard, which is a government PSU, and it will be used for enhancing urban mobility. Now there are certain cities which are on rivers, so in those cities urban mobility will be enhanced, and as it is running on a green fuel, for climate also it is good. So VO Chidambarar port, Tuticorin port, fine, there this particular vessel has been launched, and this Harit Noka initiative, it is under the Ministry of Port Shipping and Waterway. And what it targets for using the green fuel in inland waterways. Is it clear? So that is all about this. And now guys, for the mapping today we are going to cover Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project. Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project. Now, when we talk about this Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project, this project is basically India and Nepal. For so many of years, they are negotiating, developing Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project. This project will be developed on the Mahakali River. So, basically, Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project negotiated between India and Nepal, but up till now it has not been finalized. It still is stalled. Now, what are the objective of this Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project? As it is a multi-purpose project, it will develop hydroelectricity, it will enhance irrigation, it will help in the navigation. So basically a big dam is to be developed across Mahakali River. Now when we talk about Mahakali River, it originates at Kalapani in Uttarakhand, Pithoradgarh district. Fine. And Mahakali River, it is also called Sharda and Kali River, and this river forms boundary between, here you can say it forms boundary between India and Nepal. Okay. So on Mahakali River, this Pancheshwar Multipurpose Project is there, between which two countries, India and Nepal. And when we talk about Mahakali River, it finally merges with Ghagra River. Now Ghagra River merges with Ganges. So Mahakali Treaty, it is between Nepal and India and focuses on comprehensive development of river. Is it clear? Now when we talk about Ghagra River, so Mahakali merges in Ghagra. So Ghagra, where it originates? So where Ghagra originates? Ghagra originates near the Lake Mansarovar in the Tibetan Plateau and travels across Nepal and then joins the Sharda River at Brahm Ghat. Okay, so this is guys the major aspects and maps also etc. I have provided you here, you can see them. So that is all guys about the session for today. I hope that you have understood it. Okay, and with this we come to an end to the today's session. Guys, I hope that you are understanding it, you are liking it, fine, and I hope that you will support the initiative. Thank you so much.